Hey everyone, I'd like to come on here and talk about another recent dream. And as you know from the channel, we have a lot of sermon videos and music and things, and also some dream videos here and there. I believe that God speaks to us in dreams, and oftentimes it can be a call to prayer. You might see something in a dream that doesn't look too good, and that might not mean it's going to happen necessarily. Perhaps God is saying, hey, this is the route that it's going, so pray against that so the outcome can change. And unfortunately, I think so often people have a dream of something in the future that was a dream from the Lord, and they just say, oh, yep, that bad thing is going to happen, and they just let it go on without any prayer, and it happens that same way. I think we should pray about these things, and oftentimes it can be a call to pray for a better outcome. And now, this past Sunday, I encourage you also to look on our worship video from this past Sunday, and it was the first Sunday in December, that worship video. One of our leaders, Richard Brogdon, had a vivid dream that is definitely a call to prayer. He talks about that in there. And here on this video, I want to share a dream that I had actually the very same night as he had his. And which is interesting. I've been kind of pondering this, and I decided to go ahead and just post this also, that there is something taking place, guys, in the spiritual realms. There is a spiritual war taking place right now. And so we need to be in prayer over our nation. Now, the dream that I'm going to talk about tonight is a dream of upside down crosses in a civil war. And so I had a dream. Usually these dreams will come after, a night that I've invested myself in a lot of prayer, hours, and study of the word, that kind of thing. And it seems that I'm open to be able to maybe receive more. And in this dream, I saw two different things. In fact, the dream started off where I saw a barn. In fact, my wife and I walked into a barn. And this barn, it was, it didn't look too good. In fact, the barn was for sale. And it needed a lot of renovation work. And one of the pillars, the support beams, was crooked. And it wasn't, the support was kind of off. And then all of a sudden, I looked and I saw what the barn could look like if it was fully renovated. And it was really a nice looking barn afterwards. The crookedness that its weight was supported on, that was fixed, it was just really nice. And then the next thing I saw was the rest of the dream with these upside down crosses, all this stuff. Before I get to the next part, I do believe that the barn scene was our nation, and it was America, and that we have some stuff going on where it's not looking too good right now, and even the out of the support beams, the things that our nation is resting on right now, there is a crooked beam. There are some crookedness in the nation that is getting us off balance, but God wants to restore it and make it just nice and with everything fixed and looking good. And he wants to renew that barn. He wants to renew our nation. Now, the next parts of the dream, there was a team of people who had been helping Biden to campaign, and they were awarded, Biden awarded them all with the trophies, and these trophies were upside down crosses. They were silver trophies of upside down crosses. And I happened to know one of the ladies who received one of the trophies in the dream. I knew one of the ladies, and she was just an older lady. And I went to her house to visit her. And I looked on, and then far back behind some things on a shelf was that trophy. Not in a premier spot, but in kind of a pushed back behind some things kind of a spot. And she was kind of ashamed of the trophy. She was a believer in the dream. She was a Christian, and she just couldn't believe that she had gotten an upside-down cross from the man she supported. And I said, "Is that the best he could give you?" And she said, "Yeah, I don't like the upside-down cross. I don't like that." And we sat down, and both of us had our differences in our political beliefs, but we got along. And I was a friend to her. I told her, I said, I know it sounds crazy. I said, but I believe that Trump will still be the president of our nation. And she seemed kind of surprised that I would even say that. And we started talking a little bit. And I said, I've had dreams about this. And what was interesting is in the dream, I began to retell dreams that I've already had, including one that I never shared on this channel that I also had about a month ago. And I began to share with her that dream. And I shared with her that dream, which was that Biden and Trump would both be declaring themselves president and leader at the exact same time and trying to rule at the same time. Talk about chaotic, huh? And so she seemed surprised about this. And then I said, oh yeah, and there's going to be a civil war coming. She said, when? I said, next year. And I said, I didn't know when it was going to be. I've known it would happen for a while. I've just known. But I didn't know when until now. And that was the dream. That was the dream. And so it's a very sobering dream. For me, that is a call to prayer. As we don't want to see a civil war in our country. And yet I think that it's clear if you look around, our nation is very divided. I've never seen it so divided amongst people. Why even people's families are splitting over this political issue of these things taking place. Our families are splitting. People say, I'm never going to speak to my mom or dad again, they're saying, or my kids again, or whatever, because, they voted for someone. Guys, it's getting bad. It's getting bad. And so we can see we're divided. And the last thing we want is division, especially a civil war. Are you kidding me? So to me, this is a call to prayer. Pray that these things never have to come to this, that it wouldn't have to come to that. We don't want that. What we want to see is the first part of the dream where God took that barn, that barn that had some problems, had some crookedness, and it was renewed, and it was really, really nice. And he wants to take this nation. He wants to restore it. So we don't want to see a civil war. We don't want to see division. I suppose that even if those things came, God could restore the nation through those things. But I believe that the best way, obviously, is that more than ever, we would see a hunger in the hearts of the people in our nation for Jesus Christ. That people would come, that they would realize the need that they have for him. I think oftentimes people are blinded by the spell of the world. They're looking around at all these things. Well, what's the solution over here? This solution. What do I need in my life? And they need Jesus. They need him more than ever. And it is my prayer that God would remove the blinders from so many people who are lost and looking for something, but they don't know it's him, and that they'll find Jesus. And it is my prayer that God will restore this nation of ours that I love, and that this division wouldn't grow, and it wouldn't grow into some civil war, but that we would come together in a way that is beautiful in the sight of God. That as a nation, that we would come back to him and be a nation that seeks his face. I pray for revival over our country. And we can look, and guys, we are seeing a very interesting time period within the world, within America. Don't let a day go by that you forget to pray, that you forget to pray for our country. Pray for the nation that God has placed you in, because if it prospers, then you also will prosper. Does that sound familiar? That's a Bible verse. We need to pray for our nation. So God bless you guys. And if I get any more dreams, I just may share some. I have had many that I have not shared and don't plan to share. There are some things that I don't think that the Lord has opened my heart to share. But I will share as I'm led. And God bless you guys. And we'll be talking to you soon.